Hello everyone, and welcome to another Buildcraft video. And today we have SpaceToad with us.
Hello.
Some of you probably have not been around when he was, but he's the original creator of Buildcraft, so hello.
Hey. Well, I'm SpaceToad. I was there at the very beginning in 2009. I had to stop working on the mod for various reasons, personal and professional, and I couldn't resist anymore. And I'm really glad to be part of the team again. I'm really glad that Cover Jaguar is welcoming me in the team, and that I can start playing around with Buildcraft again. So I guess Cover Jaguar, today we are showing what we call the Marmot version internally. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the random name that I just picked for this particular branch, yes.
Okay. So if I understand that correctly, that's the version that we will be releasing with Minecraft 1.7.
Yes, that's the plan. It contains a few API updates, so we can't push it out just now, so.
Okay. Okay, so let me start talking about the new gates that you've been working on and that have been integrated in this version. So guys, you might have used the autarchic gate already, and I'm really hope that I'm pronouncing that right. By the way, Cover Jaguar, if I'm mispronouncing everything, if I'm butchering your language, please correct me. But I think they're called the autarchic or the autarchic, right?
Other Arctic, I think.
Okay, so
You have to ask Sanger. He came up with that name.
oh my god. Alright, whatever. We're going to call them the A gates for now on, and I'll train myself next time I'm talking about them. So those gates were available in the previous version of Buildcraft. You may have had used them already. It's kind of an advanced way to activate basic Buildcraft mechanisms. For example, pulling out object out of a chest usually requires the usage of a wood engine, but later in the game you can replace this with a smaller, simpler autarchic gate, or A gate, sorry. So that's one of the gate enhancement that was available, and it was a whole new set of recipes. And I guess Cover Jaguar, you realized that there were other enhancements that were possible with gates, and it was a problem to have to create a whole new range of recipes every single time. So the solution that
Yeah, it was quite nasty because the way gates were set up was basically you had to define every different possible variation. So there was like, if you wanted to add another type of gate like the A gates, you had to have like some 100 different texture variations and stuff.
So we do what engineers do, I guess. We factorize code or factorize design, is that it? And then our Cover Jaguar came up with this very nice design whereby you can create the base of the gate, which is the equivalent of the previous gates from Buildcraft. So you have the basic gate, you have the AND gates, you have the OR gates. Some of the recipes have changed a little bit, but basically they've worked the same way as before. But now you are going to be able to update those gates with a new table, which is called the integration table. So let's see that live. Here I've got a setup of 9 lasers. On the left hand side, this is a regular what am I call it, assembly table, I guess. Yes. And on the left hand side, this is an integration table. Now let me see, I should have I'm going to grab a few items here to show how that works. There are new chipsets available. Pulsating chipset, quartz chipset, redstone comp chipset. I'm not quite sure how they're crafted yet, but that will be published along with the new release, obviously. And I'm going to take each of them. So these chipsets are basically the upgrades to the basic gate. I built myself a couple of basic gates, and I have some more information on how these do, which is actually quite useful. I always got confused with that, and believe it or not, when I joined Buildcraft again and tried the mod again, I had no idea how I could use the basic gate and how I could wire it. And now you have the tooltip that say the only gate that works, or the only wire, sorry, that works with that gate is the red one, which is quite cool for dummies like me. Anyway, I'm now going to go to this new table, and you can see that there's a whole new interface. There's this cool power extension that gives you how much power is required, how much is stored, and so on and so forth. And I want to update my gate. So I'm going to take this basic gate here and put it on the left hand side. I'm going to put just one for now, and I'm going to take one of the chipset that is going to be used for extension. Let's start with the pulsating chipset. So I'm putting it here, and as you can tell, the lasers automatically detect that there is some work to be done here, and they are crafting this new gate. Now the new gate looks like a little bit like the previous one, except that it has the extension on, which is this few pixel on the side, which makes an autarkic or nay gate. The second extension is done through the quartz chipset. So again, I'm putting a gate here, I'm putting the chipset here. The laser will detect that there's work to be done, and soon enough I'm going to have one of this clock timer installed on the gate. So let's wait up until that is done. And here we go. Now the last kind of thing that you can do, again with a basic gate, and here I'm just using basic gates, but you could do that with any kind of gates, even the diamond and on OR gates. It really depends on the final
You can
system.
even add multiple extensions on the gate if you want.
Can you? Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to try that then. Just to finish on the list, I'm adding the redstone com chipset that's creating a gate with a redstone fader. Now I have to admit I have no clue how that could be used in current Minecraft because I'm still learning about how that works, but I understand that can be useful in a lot of situations. Now let's actually give a try at what Covered Jaguar suggested. We are going to, I don't need a diamond chipset, to combine gates. So again, on the table, now on the left hand side, I'm going to add, say, a gate with a clock timer, and I'm going to extend it with a pulsating chipset. And here I go. My gate is going to be added the two add-ons, the two plugins, if you will, and I'm going to craft a gate able to perform a clock timer and able to perform the functionality of the A gates. Alright, so maybe Covered Jaguar, you want to show those things in action. Do you need me to send them to you so that you can place them in the world?
Well, I don't quite know what you got set up here, so I might let you.
Okay, sure. So let me actually start with the A gates, which is really my favorite. I always found that annoying that you had to create this these redstone engines, which are they still called redstone engine? Yeah, they are, right?
Yeah, they're still called the redstone engines.
I mean, it's cool at the beginning of the game because the idea is that you start by the basics and you pay some effort, but then when you are in an advanced stage, it's nice to have something more compact. So I'm going to place two A gates on those wooden pipes here, right? And then opening the chest, I'm putting a few stone elements. Now I'm going to configure those gates to extract item from the chest only if they are items from the chest, because of course otherwise I won't have anything to extract. So I'm clicking on this, I get the usual basic gate interface, and I'm going to say if there are items in the inventory, then perform an energy pulsar, which by the way comes with a newer item, a newer icon now. And as you can see, the gates got activated. There is a little animation that goes with it that shows that it's actually active, so it's a bit more animated. And indeed, the items are getting pulled from the chest and going to the other one. And I can do the same thing here. Said if there are items, do the energy pulsar thing, and soon enough I'm going to have the same kind of behavior. So that's the first extension. It works just as the previous gate, but this time you have a little animation to make it a tad more interesting. Now the clock gates I can add for example on this pipe, and again I'm going to open the interface, and this time I'm going to say after, or when, well, what can I say? Yes, after 15 seconds, or every 15 seconds, please change the pipe direction. So that would do something after 15 seconds here, I guess. So if I wait, I should see the pipe direction going, what did I say? South? Yes, I did say south. Up, here we go. And item should start going south. So what I basically said is that please activate a trigger after 15 seconds. So that's the second extension. And the third extension is activating various levels of redstone depending on the trigger. So I'm just going to show you the interface here, and I'll let Covered Jaguar explain the details. So actually I'm going to look at your setup here. So maybe you want to describe that setup?
What we have here is we have 3 different gates with the fader installed, and you can choose what level of redstone it outputs. So this one's at 2, and because it's at 2 it only travels for 2 blocks. And this next one over here is at 5, and it travels for 5 blocks. And this one over here is set to like 15 or something. So, and there's also the flip side. You have the triggers. You can detect different levels as well. So if you want to use this to do complicated stuff with daylight timers, and I do not know what you just did.
I'm messing around. I was trying to I was trying to get the input, to show the input, but I guess this gate doesn't have it. That's why let me
yeah,
that's it. I got it here. I got the input.
Yeah, that one's just a normal gate.
Yeah,
so.
that's why it didn't work. So just to show you the interface, guys, this is the input, and here you got the output. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, so if you want to use a daylight sensor to turn on at a specific time of day, you can use the gates to do that, and by detecting what level the light is at, the redstone's at. So that's pretty much the redstone fader. So
all right, that's cool. So I guess that sums up the main features that are going to go for the 1.7 Minecraft release, knowing that we have a lot of work to update Buildcraft to it as soon as Forge is in a state that's reasonable enough, which should come in very, very soon, if I understand correctly what I've been told recently.
Yeah, it's almost there.
Oh, cool. So what's next?
Next is probably the builder. So.
Yep. Yeah. So that I have to apologize here, because when I left Buildcraft in 20, well, I think it was March 2012. The one thing that I didn't do is to port Buildcraft 3 to SMP. So if some of you remember, there was no gate, no wire, no logic that was ported there, and there was no builder. And as it turns out, the gates were okay to port, I guess. Is that a fair statement?
Well, actually the builder got ported too.
Okay.
It's just that the API was unmanageable, basically, and it was corrupting worlds, and we couldn't really fix it without kind of starting over.
Okay.
And so, as motivation being what it is for people who do Buildcraft basically on the side, it's been kind of a slow process. So it's about there. So I rewrote the whole API a few months back, so that's all ready and everything, and it currently does build. It's just that there's no saving of blueprints, and the library the library is one thing that did not make the transition very well, admittedly.
Okay, that's cool. So the library is the thing that I'm willing to take ownership on in terms of porting it. If you're on GitHub, I've been starting to hammer onto it, and I'm hoping to get some results soon. Obviously, after we do the migration to Minecraft 1.7 and so the release of this new cool gates that you just saw. All right, I think that
So,
that
yeah,
wraps it up.
I think that's about it.
Okay, well, once again, I'm really glad, Cover Jaguar, that you're welcoming me back to the team. I'm really glad to be able to get to play with the Minecraft modding and the Buildcraft again. I've got plenty of ideas that we will have to discuss at some point. Even for now, the agenda is pretty set on porting everything on 1.7 and porting the builder thing, as I understand.
Yeah, it's been pretty much the schedule for a while now.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone for having watched this video, and stay tuned. There is a lot more to come.